We're going to use the magic circle for an efficient core workout to get you reconnected. If you don't have a circle, use a pillow, a sofa cushion, something like that. You're going to start with some breathing before we even add the circle in. So place whatever your prop is to the side, come to your hands and knees. You're going to press the floor away with your hands, gently round your spine, and then push with your arms to allow your pelvis to go back. As your pelvis goes back, I want you to think about your sits bones widening. So these butt bones that you can sit on, your ischial tuberosities widen. I want you to keep your belly slightly lifted and go back as deep as you can, right? If you need to pad it behind the knees or just be butt up, head down, that is fine. And you're going to go back to your variation, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Practicing allowing your breath, inhaling, going into your pelvic basin. As you exhale, let your belly draw in and up, almost away from your thighs. Doing that 2 more times. Inhale into your belly, into your lower back, into your pelvic floor. Exhale, let it all go. We've got 1 more like that. Inhaling. And exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. And then you're going to use your hands on either sides of your legs to press up, using your arms, using your belly as you roll all the way up. You're going to come to a rest on your back. You're going to need your circle. So you can lay on your side and roll to your back, or you could just sit and roll straight back, whatever is right for you. If you need head support because it pulls too much in your neck or your shoulders or your ribs cannot find the mat, pad up your head. Take the circle between the thighs where you feel like you're not going to shoot it out. Bring your feet closer than your knees so that when you hug the circle, again, you're not trying to break the circle, you're just going to hug the circle, that you feel like your knees and feet are on some sort of parallel track. So I don't want my feet to be crazy close or too far apart so I'm internally rotating. I want to be parallel with the knees and the toes. Then, hands on your lower belly. You're going to inhale, let everything widen. As you exhale, I want you to think not Kegel butt tighten. I want you to think pelvic floor like a tunnel, right? So you're going to close a little bit towards that center, inner thighs, pubic bones, sits bones, pelvic floor, draws to the center and gathers in and up. Your hip bones or your ASIS here come closer together, and your waistline and the lowest part of your ribs all hug to center. So you're hugging to the center of that tunnel. And then you inhale, you let everything widen out. Exhale, drawing into the center, wrapping it around, and then inhale, release. We're going to add on to that. So you're going to exhale, you're going to hug to center, and then you're going to start to curl your pelvis under. So you're going to lift these pelvic bones, your ASIS, you're going to draw them up towards your ribs, dropping your navel back. Inhale, release your pelvis towards your feet. Let your legs widen. Exhale, hug and hollow everything back and curl the pelvis under, drawing the pubic bone to the navel, the hip bones to the ribs, sinking the spine back, sinking my navel back. Inhale, release, letting my pelvis tilt forward, letting the inner thighs open. 1 more like that. Exhale, hugging. And notice I'm not gripping everything. I'm really thinking I'm going into that tunnel, that tube, and I'm hugging around the center, and then I'm layering this curl of my pelvis under, sinking my navel back. Inhale, releasing. Then I'm going to suggest you widen your feet just a little bit more. Adjust your circle if it feels like it's slipping. Arms are going to reach up towards the ceiling. And you're going to hug your circle and keep that. But I don't want you, again, to feel like you're breaking it. It's just hugging it. That's enough. Press into your feet. Hug to that midline. Curl the pelvis under. Press into your feet as you lift your hips up. Knees are reaching out over those middle toes. You're going to reach the arms overhead. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to roll down, keeping that hug the whole time. Then when you're at the bottom and your pelvis hits the ground, bring the arms to the ceiling, release the hug of the circle. Repeating that. Exhale, hug to the center, bridging up. If you can roll up, that's great. If you just need to hinge up, that's fine. Remember, we're doing glute bridging, not yoga wheel bridging. You're going to do this from your hips, right? You're going to reach the arms overhead. And then you're going to slowly roll down, reaching the arms one way and the knees the other way as you roll down. And then bring your pelvis down, bring your arms up, release the hug. You've got one more like that. Exhale, hug to center. Feel your feet center there. So not too much on the inside or the outside. Curl the pelvis under. Slowly pick your hips off the mat by pushing down through the feet. Upper back is nice and heavy. Reach the arms overhead. Breathe there and slowly roll down, massaging your back onto the mat. When your butt is down, release the squeeze. Bring your arms down by your side. Bend your elbows and press the back of your arm against the mat. Drop your ribs down. Walk your feet a little bit closer together. On your exhale, you're going to hug your circle. Press and lift your butt just a little bit off the mat, which is just barely lifted, right? So it's just hovering there. You're going to exhale, squeeze the circle, thinking inner thigh, pubic bone, sits bones gathering, waistline gathering to center, and just push through the feet to lift up a little bit. Inhale, drop and release a little bit. So it's like just a little bit in and a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit release. Exhale, pumping in and up and release. Exhale in and up, release. Exhale and up and release. So you're kind of inner thigh, pelvic floor, belly working with your hips, right? As it should. Hug in and up and release. Can you get this timing going with your breath, your belly, and your pelvic floor? I'm like 2 different legs going on here. Keep going. You got 2 more. Hold up on the next one. See if you can go a little faster, kind of like a fast twitch, like squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So it's hamstrings and glutes, but it's also a lot of inner thigh, pelvic floor, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So reach the knees over the toes. Keep the sits bones lifting up to the back of the knees. Last squeeze, release, and relax all the way down. Take a moment. Take your circle between your hands. Just press into your arms. Walk your feet closer together. Draw your back as snugly into the mat as you can. So I'm going to think ribs that's going to be my priority. Keeping my rib cage down, keeping my shoulders grounded. Maybe I can get opposite my navel in the direction of the mat. Lift the feet up. Slowly, I'm going to think heels lift, then I drag my feet to my butt, then I lift my feet all the way off. You're going to breathe here and you're going to inhale, reach the arms, straight elbows, palms in the circle. You're going to reach the arms overhead, keeping those ribs down. Exhale, press a little bit, especially through the ring finger and pinky finger. Squeeze or press into the circle just a little bit as you pull the circle towards your stable legs. Inhale, reach the arms. Ribs do not get to lift. Back does not get to lift. Belly does not get to pooch. Bring your arms back towards your legs. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hugging everything to the center, pulling your arms towards your legs. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coming center. And then bring your feet down. Make sure your feet are not too wide as you transition the circle back to your inner thighs. Slide your hands behind your head so you can support your head and neck. Wrap your elbows a little bit towards the ceiling so your shoulder blades wrap around your rib cage. You're going to keep your pelvis stable here. You're going to exhale, hug. Again, that cylinder idea of drawing everything a little tighter to this tunnel, the cylinder idea. Pubic bone to pubic bone, hip bones, inner thigh, pubic bone, hip bones, waistline, ribs. And then you're going to curl up, making sure your belly doesn't dome up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to control as you come back down, release the squeeze. Exhale, squeeze and curl up. Inhale, release back. Exhale, squeeze and curl up. Inhale, releasing back and down. Exhale, squeeze and curl up. Inhale, back and down. Exhale, squeeze and curl up. And back and down. 2 more, hug and curl up. And down, last one, hug and curl up. Hold there, reach your arms on either sides of your legs. Stretch the fingertips so the shoulders are reaching away from the ears. Keep the pelvis stable, keep the belly sinking, and we'll twitch, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, 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 inhale, 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 exhale, 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 inhale, 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 inhale. One more time. And exhale, 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 and come down. Take the circle to the side. Take a moment without anything there. Take your arms wide. Let your knees drop one way and take a breath in. Let your eyes go opposite your knees so you get this nice stretch from like my whole body across my neck, across my chest, down into my abdomen, across my hip and lower back, and then you're going to slowly pour yourself center and let your knees go the other direction. Breathing there. Eyes going opposite the knees. And then slowly coming center, you're going to roll over onto your forearms and knees with the circle between the elbows. Now, if you've been working with the sofa cushion, it's a little bit harder to do this. So you're just going to imagine you have a circle. You could technically, I guess, use a yoga block, but the yoga block's very narrow, and almost none of us have shoulders that are that narrow. So you're going to, the alignment here is, in our dream scenario, middle finger is in alignment with the middle of your wrist, and that's in alignment with the middle of your elbow and your shoulder. You're going to squeeze or hug those elbows towards each other. Lift your belly away from the ground. Squeeze and just lift your elbows off a few inches. Now, if you've got the circle, you're squeezing. If you don't have the circle, you're hugging, because what's going to happen, your elbows are going to want to wing out and your body weight's going to want to shift back. So keep it forward, squeeze, and then reach your elbows as you lower down. We're going to do that again. Exhale, lift. Keep the squeeze, reach those elbows down. And 2 more. Squeeze and lift. Hug and then reach those elbows as you lower down. And by 2 more, I mean 2 more now. You're going to squeeze and lift. Keep squeezing as you reach down. Squeeze and lift. Keep squeezing as you reach. Shift the body weight forward. I'm cheating by going back a little bit. Now I'm going to squeeze. This time I'm going to straighten all the way up. I'm going to shift forward, bringing my shoulders over my hands. I'm going to keep the circle here. And I'm going to squeeze my arms against this. Tuck your toes under. Push the ground away as you hug your arms to center. On your exhale, lift your knees off. Reach through your heels, inner thigh to inner thigh, pubic bone to pubic bone, hip bone to hip bone, waistline wrapping in, length from heel to head. Hug the circle in. 2 more breaths there. 1 more breath. Bring your knees down with control. Sit back towards your feet. Take the circle to the side, and you're done. Very simple core routine where you can use your circle or a sofa cushion or just your imagination. Until next time, keep moving.